Okay, so now that we're up here on the roof and stuff, I want to talk about something. So, being that this is Lumio City, and being that it like represents a region that I have the fondest memories of, especially when I got back into Pokemon, I remember like seeing this place and remembering how immersed I got of the whole area. Um, It reminds me. Okay, I'm just gonna put my controller down because it's about to get real, guys. So this reminds me of a friend who I'm unfortunately no longer friends with. Um, I'm not gonna name this person directly because I don't want to cause any problems and I don't want to you know, spew any unnecessary drama. But there was this friend who I had a falling out with like a decade ago, back when I was in college, where their car broke down and I came to visit them one last time and I helped them out. I helped jumpstart their car, and that was when it was mutually decided that the two of us go our separate ways. So this friend was okay. I still give this friend a lot of credit, and I still like think about them often when I think about Pokemon or when I do anything Pokemon related, because they were a huge factor in getting me back into the series, and they also made a big impact on me back in high school, and is basically an instrumental reason as to why I have this YouTube channel in the first place and why my love for video games reignited. And I have so many fond memories. Like most of my best memories from high school were with with this person. And this friend, they were kind of troubled. I mean, they seemed kind of goofy and kind of funny when I first met them, because like every time I'd play DS games with them, they would like freak out, and just it was so funny. We would have laughs together. We would have good laughs, and we would play like the new Super Mario Bros. Mario vs. Luigi mode. We would play Mario Kart, and we just kind of got to know each other, and it was a good time. You know, we grew closer thanks to like the fact that both of us had Nintendo DSs. And this was a friend who I enjoyed playing video games with for the most part, but they were never very confident. And I learned that that's because, well, when it comes to Mario games, they had poor eyesight. Like they could play video games no problem. I mean, they had to wear glasses, but they had to be like a certain distance from the screen in order to play very well, and that was very hard when it came to playing Mario games, because they had to be a very like they had to pay attention to like so much going on around them, and being that Mario games have so much going on at once, um, it was yeah, it was hard for them. And I remember they were kind of lamenting the fact that us Mario fans were eating good around the time the 3DS came out, and they couldn't afford a 3DS at the time, and I was like amongst the first to get the 3DS when it came out. They were the only ones who actually had Pokemon Black and White 2, which not a lot of people were into Pokemon at the time, and Black and White 2 was like I think the worst selling Pokemon game of its time. He was kind of lonely, and he didn't really have the same games everybody else was playing, and he was really into Pokemon at the time. Like Pokemon was like the only like series he really stuck to. Like it was mostly comfortable games for him, because there was not too much action, and most of like the RPG elements, you know, didn't require him to focus on so many things going on at the screen at once. You know, many action oriented games he kind of like he couldn't really play because yeah. But I remember back in 2013, um, we were hanging out at my house one day, and I wanted to watch the Pokemon Presents video with him, because it was kind of a nice gesture, and I know that like he was a big fan of Pokemon at the time, but he was also speculating that we were finally going to get some really good mainline games. And he okay, I should also mention that their parents didn't really support them. their love for video games. I guess they didn't really believe in video games, so they got a part-time weekend job. I think the part-time weekend job was how they got their money to buy their own games, because they couldn't rely on their parents to buy them games, and sometimes on their birthdays I would gift them games. I remember we watched the Pokemon Presents video of the time, and this was back when Satoru Iwata was still alive, and he was kind of announcing the newest Pokemon games that were coming out, which were X and Y. And we were like so excited. Like, we shared so much excitement. And around the time that X and Y did come out, I didn't have the game yet, but they did. And as kind of a nice gesture, I kind of sat with them throughout their first experience of the game, and the very moment that we walked into Lumio City, and the camera was like following behind us so we could just bask in the wonderful sights of Lumio City. Oh man, we were just immersed and we were amazed. We couldn't explore all of it exactly yet because of that whole quest where you have to restore power to the Prism Tower by going to the power plant first. But by the time we got back to Lumio City, oh, we were having so much fun just kind of checking everything out. It was such a happy time that the two of us like shared, and they were the happiest because they could finally have a mainline Pokemon game to stick to and connect with others. Like, they were actually very happy that they could actually connect with others, because there were other people that got the games too that they kind of, got to socialize with. And yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where it reminds me of a really good friend. Even if we're no longer friends, I could still hold on to the good memories. And if they saw this video, I hope that they know that I still think the world of them, and I hope that they're doing well, and I thank them for the impact they left, during high school.